Hello everyone! So welcome to my live stream! So, for today's video, no? Okay, mga Hello everyone! So welcome to my live stream. So I have a late dinner today. Poon 99 na. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you everyone. So guys, I'm gonna show you my putpasatay nitnoy. My kaujay naka. Kuntay may dai. So this is my dinner. I have my late dinner today because I just came home from my friend's house. So I have this egg and pork. I just buy it outside, but it's very yummy. Hello everyone, so please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much everyone. Sorry, my kaujay. No. I don't understand. My kaujay naka. So who's my viewer now? Are you all from Thailand or you're from the other side of the country? So I can shout out to you. Because Hello, sawadika. Sorry naka, I cannot read. Hi? Did you mean hi? Hi? So I have my egg here. Before I don't like egg, but now I like it. Thank you so much everyone for coming to my live stream. So this is Jet at your service. What food? I have this moo, and I have egg and fry. So this is what I have. It's very delicious. So I have also, because I didn't cook, so I just buy it like in 7-Eleven. I wonder what's this one. But never mind. Kung Fu Tai Dai Madai. Kung Fu. What's... I don't understand. Sorry. Michael Jai. Put pa sa tenit noy. Kung tayo maday na ka. Kung Philippine na ka. Very, very delicious. What time? Hello to everyone who's watching now. Thank you from all from the other side of the world. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. So by the way, can you tell right now? Kung Fu Tai Dai Mai? Can you tell right now? Kung Fu Tai Dai Mai? What's supposed to what I supposed to tell? Because I don't understand. Michael Jai. See? Very, very delicious. See? Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So I'm sharing my, my everyday life, what I do. So because I am eating right now, so I'm sharing it to you. And while I'm eating, I'm also talking. Sonoma, California, Malacca Academy. Sonoma, California. So you're from California. But I cannot read your name. Kun Philippine. I am here in Thailand now. I love Thailand. And also guys, like if you want food like from outside, I recommend this one to you. I don't know what's the name, but all I know is this one is a pork. It's like a barbecue pork. This one and this one, and then with the rice. It's very, like it's very yummy. Hmm. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the button below. Thank you. I always enjoyed eating food. But even though I enjoyed eating food, still I look like this. Mmm, delicious. I also like the uh, dried pork, like in on the street, because the taste is very yummy. They just only like fried it, then tastes good. Mmm, so delicious, guys. Wait a moment, everyone, because I'm gonna check some update here in my YouTube. Hi, in the Philippines right now, I can tell you it's very chaos, it's very trouble. So, I hope they will bring back our former President Duterte, because President Duterte is a very, very, like good leader to our country, because we experience, like peace, safety wherever we go, especially in the middle of the midnight. But now in the Philippines, if you go like on the street, it's not safe anymore. It's not like before. That's why I love Duterte, because he is a very strong leader. I know God knows about everything that happened. Hopefully.
po ang una kong video kung saan sinabi po natin na talagang ang ating Pangulong Duterte, dating Pangulong Duterte,
So I'm listening to the other side, okay? While I'm eating. Because I'm very stressed about what happened to our country. Food, I love mine. That's good.
Ano po ba ang
I also like somtam. I love what else? I forget the name.
sa Pilipinas?
Pad kapaw. Very good.
Titingnan po natin.
God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming here.
Time check po mga kapatid. This is March 12, 8:30 a.m. Ang sinisigurado ko po sa inyo na nangyayari base sa inyong tanong na yan ay talaga pong ang ating dating Pangulo ay makakabalik dito sa Pilipinas. Makakabalik po ba siya? Ang tanong ay kailan siya makakabalik? At ang tanong ay makakabalik pa ba siya?
Thank you.
Buhay? Hindi po ba? So, siguraduhin na i-click ang follow button and subscribe button para po sa ating mga susunod na prediction, and i-comment po na I claim na makakabalik po, no, ang ating dating Pangulo. No? So this is the current energy ng ating
Thank you, Lord, for the food.
Pangulong Duterte. Siya ay King of Swords. Kung napanood niyo na po yung part 1 at part 2, lagi po itong lumalabas ang card na ito. Sabi po dito ay talagang siya ngayon ay dumaraan sa pagsubok, ano, at talagang medyo apektado ang kanyang mental health sa ganitong sitwasyon. Kahit sino naman talaga ay
Bye. Thank you so much. See you again in my next video when I have my live stream.
Hindi po ang ating dating Pangulo makakabalik ka ng agad-agad. Hindi ito mangyayari ng in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Hindi po ganun, matatagalan po. And waiting, sacrifice, suspension, recalibration. So, habang nangyayari po ito, isa lang po ang ating magagawa. Ang magdasal po ng mataimtim. No? Ipagdasal dahil ang pinakamabisa pong panglaban sa data or spell ay ang ating panalangin. At nakikita ko po na sa mga susunod na araw, marami pang mangyayari. At isa lang ang nakikita ko dito nangingibabaw, ang pagmamahal niya sa kanyang bayan at ang pagmamahal ng mga tao sa kanya. So, ito po ay hindi siya basta-basta na makakabalik sa Pilipinas. Hindi po ito yung agad-agad, no? Uulitin ko po, siya ay makakabalik. Ang tanong, makakabalik ba siya ng buhay o hindi? Mga kapatid, ang ating buong buhay ay biyaya ng Panginoong may kapal. Binigyan po ako ng kakayahang ito upang gumabay sa mga tao. Ngunit wala po ako sa posisyon, wala po ako karapatan na pangunahan ang biyaya ng buhay, na wala po akong karapatan. Makita ko man ito, no? Only God should tell us kung siya po ay makakabalik ng buhay. Di po ba? Only time should tell us. Wala po akong karapatan na pangunahan or manghimasok pagdating po sa sinasabi nating buhay, dahil ang buhay pangunahan. Dahil people power ba? Dahil marami po talagang nagtatanong sa ating comment section. At kung magkakaroon po ba ng martial law, make sure to follow, click that subscribe button para po sa mga susunod na update natin sa mga susunod na araw. Siguraduhan share ang video na ito. Siguraduhan i-save po ang video na ito upang
On the 18th of February, the President said, "My position has not changed. I have stated it often, even before I took office as President, that there are many questions about ICC's jurisdiction and that we here in the Philippines regard as an intrusion into our internal matters and a threat to our sovereignty." Does the DFA agree with this statement? And do we abide by this position until today? Anyone from the DFA, please?
Madam Chair, good morning.
Yes, you recognize, you said.
Yes, thank you. Well, as I speak right now, the Philippines is not a member of the ICC, and the DFA defers to the Department of Justice as the implementing agency when it comes to cooperation on ICC matters. Madam Chair.
Yes, so to the best of your knowledge and in the consideration of the DFA, we are not a member of the ICC.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And the DOJ having been referred to, may I call on Secretary Remulla, please, to clarify this issue.
We are not members of the ICC, ma'am. So, whatever relationship we have with the ICC is on an arm's length basis if we have to talk to them. But we have never spoken to them.
I'm
We have
sorry,
never
Secretary, I
spoken.
didn't hear you. Whatever relationship we have
It's on an arm's length basis, meaning very transparent if ever. But we have never spoken to them.
arm's length.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have had contact even at
No, ma'am.
arm's length.
We do not have any contact. What we're saying is we are very transparent about what we do, and we have never had any contact with the ICC.
So you uphold the statement of the President saying that the ICC has no jurisdiction here in the Philippines. Is that correct?
Ma'am, jurisdiction of the ICC is throughout the world. We belong to a community of nations
Regardless
that
of
is
law
tied
enforcement-
together by a legal system called international humanitarian law. It is something adopted by more than 150 countries in the world. International humanitarian law, which became a law in 2009 or 2010. And that law, that domestic law, is what we adhere to in this case.
Are you referring to RA 9851?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you indicated the date was 2009. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So therefore, we are not members of the ICC.
Hello, thank you so much for coming.
President Duterte
Hello,
membership
please do subscribe to my
in
YouTube
2018,
channel.
Effective 2019.
I just finished. I get
That being the
easily
position
full.
of the DILG, I assume
But,
that
what do you
Secretary
mean?
Remulla in the DILG also maintains the same.
Yes, ma'am. I defer to the wisdom of the Department of Justice.
And the PNP, General Marbil, please.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. If that is therefore an unqualified yes, and you are in agreement with the President that ICC has no jurisdiction whatsoever, what was the DOJ referring to as the ICC's jurisdiction in the Philippines being different from us being a member? What is the distinction, please?
Ma'am, the ICC tries people for individual crimes, not states. So the Philippines, as a state, cannot be called upon by the ICC to do something for them. But when the ICC is running after individuals who are Filipino citizens, then that obligation becomes another kind of obligation.
So that therefore the Senate ratification of the ICC at the time that it was ratified is of no weight. regardless, you will fall under the jurisdiction of the ICC, under
Well, for
the so-called
individuals.
international.
Yes, madam.
That is your belief, Theodore.
Yes, madam.
Kakgela.
When there are
Sorry, I don't
individuals
understand.
when there are individuals being asked by the ICC to explain, it is another matter. As a state is different from an individual. We all know that we have to.
I think that's
the
not the
individuals
question.
being charged by the ICC will have to face the ICC.
I'm perplexed. The DFA made it very clear that as we withdrew, we are no longer a state party to the treaty.
Please do subscribe
And now
to my
you're
YouTube
saying
channel.
that we can
I'm just
nevertheless
listening
fall
to
under
what
the
happened to my
ICC,
country.
under
It's very chaos in the
generic rubric
Philippines.
of international
Hopefully,
humanitarian law.
Philippines will
So it doesn't
be,
matter whether you
have
sign or do not
peace.
sign, whether
Yes,
you
ma'am.
ratify
It's
or do
very,
not
very
ratify.
chaos, and
It
it
makes
makes
no
me,
difference.
stress
Doesn't make any
about
difference anymore.
anything.
Are you certain?
I'm certain.
Okay, Attorney Saret, please, from DFA. Is that the position of the DFA?
Madam Chair, I concur with my USEC, the current acting SFA, that as far as we are concerned, we're no longer members of the ICC.
And as non-members, can we possibly fall under the jurisdiction of the ICC
Saya
under the
Montagues.
rubric
Hello,
of
thank you so much for
international
watching.
humanitarian law?
Please
Is
do
that correct?
subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you, and have a
Yes,
good
ma'am, I think,
evening.
because we, under the
What's the use of signing or ratifying a treaty if it bears no weight?
I defer, ma'am, to Secretary Remulla.
May I?
This one, ma'am.
I think it's your purview, your DFA.
Yes, ma'am. But yes, ma'am. Technically, we are no longer a member of the ICC.
Bye.
But
Hello, Saya
we might be
Montagues. Thank you so
obligated
much.
Under residual
I'm
jurisdiction
listening
as,
to the news
what the
about
Supreme
what
Court,
happened to
in
my
one case
country.
already mentioned that we still have residual jurisdiction. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes,
Madam Chair, if I may.
I'm a little bit perplexed given that you are part of the executive. The president has said, as he said for the 100th time, that we are not under the ICC. Why is the SOJ now saying that we are nevertheless, somehow, in some miraculous way, under the rubric of the international humanitarian law, still under its jurisdiction?
Your Honor, it is not the Philippines that is under the jurisdiction. It is the individuals who are charged by the ICC, which is under the jurisdiction. There is a distinction, ma'am.
Please explain.
As non-members of the ICC, and as a state, the ICC has no jurisdiction over us as a country. But over the individuals who may have committed crimes that violate international humanitarian law, that is a universal value being held by the whole world today. That people cannot cross borders and hide behind boundaries so that they can run away from the law. International humanitarian law is something adopted. The principles are adopted by more than 150 countries throughout the world, Your Honor.
Are you of the position, therefore, that international humanitarian law, as you said, is customary law? Is that the
It
consideration?
is already customary law now. As we speak, it has become customary law throughout the world.
Are you aware that procedural and admin matters do not form part of customary law? Surely, the Secretary is well aware that procedural and administrative matters
Yeah.
will still have to comply
Yes.
with the laws of the land.
Of course, Madam, this goes without saying.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Senator Jinggoy, I think you wanted to interject at this juncture. We recognize the Senator.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you very much. The DFA, the DOJ, the DILG, and the PNP has already admitted that we are not members of the Philippines is not a member of the ICC. Therefore, why did we surrender a Filipino citizen before the ICC? Anyone can answer, Madam Chair.
We surrendered an individual to the ICC who was a subject of a warrant of arrest. That's what we did.
I'm 110 South President.
I did not hear you again.
Mr. Senator, we surrendered an individual to the ICC. We did not surrender as a country, but he was surrendered due to a warrant of arrest issued by the ICC through the Interpol.
Okay, thank you. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.
Senator Jinggoy, any follow-up questions, please? Thank you. If that's the case, while we've attempted to retrieve Senator Jinggoy, let me just pursue the question of the international humanitarian law being customary law. Since procedural and administrative matters do not fall under customary law, ICC processes, therefore, are not part and parcel.
Madam Chair, the distinction of the ICC process of issuing a warrant of arrest is something accepted through a treaty, the International Police Organization.
You have just contradicted yourself, sir. You said it was customary, and now you're saying it's by treaty.
We can be very technical about it, ma'am.
Sorry.
But we can be very technical about it if you wish to be. But the fact is, it is our accession to the Interpol which made all of this possible.
We will go to the Interpol later. Let us discuss the ICC at this juncture. So, while I will go with you for the sake of argument that the IHL, or International Humanitarian Law, has now become accepted as part of international customary law, I am unable to accept that ICC processes
Thank you so
administrative
much.
procedures as well are now part of customary law. I don't think so.
The processes are not part of customary law. We have our own administrative processes. If you ask me about this, Madam, we can say that the
Thank
IHL
you.
is the domestic law that we followed in recognizing the warrant of arrest issued against Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Which domestic law and process did,
Republic Act 9851, Your Honor.
as mentioned previously?
Yes, as been mentioned previously, and within the provisions allows us two options, either extradition or surrender. We chose the executive mode, which is surrender.
We will go to that later, but at this juncture, therefore I get an acceptance from the Secretary that in fact the processes that should have prevailed should have been those stipulated under RA 9851 or our own local law.
We follow the process, ma'am.
Thank you. So that's correct. On the same day, if I may proceed, the President also said, I do not see what its jurisdiction is, referring once again to the ICC. Can we bring back the video? I think there is a statement there. I feel that we have in our police and judiciary a good system. We do not need assistance from any outside entity. Again, as part of the executive department, you have subscribed to this view, I assume.
Yes, Madam.
So to clarify, the statement means that the President was not recognizing the jurisdiction of the ICC over the crimes allegedly committed by the former President. Is that correct?
We do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC over our country. What we recognize is the jurisdiction of the ICC over individuals who may have violated international humanitarian law by committing murder and other heinous crimes.
If I may, I think the President was referring to the jurisdiction of the ICC over crimes, specifically crimes committed by PRRD.
Yeah,
Isn't that so?
I'm watching here.
Can you rephrase your question, ma'am?
It is about my
Well, you
country,
said that,
about what happened to
while
our
the
former
ICC has no
president,
jurisdiction
Rodrigo
over the
Duterte.
Philippines
It's
as a
very
state,
sad.
it maintains
And
jurisdiction
Filipino
over
are very,
individuals
you
and
know,
crimes.
they,
Under
you know, like they
international
hate the
humanitarian
government
order.
now. The
Yes,
government is
right.
really
What
crazy.
the President said is that there is no jurisdiction over the crimes committed by the former President.
Well,
Because we have a functioning police and judiciary system. Unless you submit that you don't.
submit that we don't, ma'am.
That we don't have a functioning police force.
We have a functioning
or
police
a
force.
judiciary.
We have a judiciary. But what we are dealing with here
You're
is crimes
contradicting your
committed
president,
14 years ago
Thank
to
you.
2019. We're talking about a timeline, Your Honor, that we were not even here yet, and that it is very hard. Ma'am, may I
Yes.
continue?
Yes, carry on.
Well, it
Yes.
is very difficult for us. We made our
No, the
commitments.
president made it very clear.
We made our commitments to the United Nations that we would investigate all of these crimes committed during the drug war. And it is not a very easy task, ma'am, because the people that we expect to be cooperating with us were not. So, although we're still doing our investigations on the AJ case, on the extrajudicial killings committed during that time,
King King, thank you
Yes,
so
I know,
much.
not
Welcome.
reviewing the drug war.
Welcome
This
back.
is a Foreign Relations Committee hearing.
Thank
There's
you
not a
again for
statement.
watching.
The president
And
clearly
listening to
means
the news
jurisdiction
now.
over
It's very clear.
individuals. It's very, very clear. There's no area for quibbling. And if you say there's jurisdiction over individuals, I don't believe that you are in agreement with your president. As a matter of fact, the ICC does not try countries, after all. They do try.
our views evolve during times, at times, and I don't
So you
know
do admit
if he still has the same view up to today, because we are talking about a clip which was done 1.5 years ago. Our minds can change, ma'am. We cannot just stay in one rut and say that
I
this
think
is
I'll go
absolute,
to sleep.
because our minds
Okay,
may
good
change,
night.
and we are allowed
And
to
have a good
by
sleep.
the law of man and the law of God.
Yes, of course. Of course, we all change our minds, and Mr. Secretary. So you are saying that the president changed his mind?
Well, I cannot speak for him, Madam. I cannot speak for him. Your conclusions are really your own, and I cannot adopt your conclusions here.
They're not my conclusions. It's a bold statement, which really.
Well, your statements of belief are your own, ma'am. I cannot adapt to your statements of belief, but I respect them.
The statement of the president is very, very clear cut. I would like to show also a letter in December of 2023. Do we have it on hand? Can you enlarge it so that it's much clearer? Okay. On screen is a letter dated 15 December 2023 addressed to Vice President Sara Duterte, where the President says that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic after the effectivity of its withdrawal is very much in question, and I'm certain that all the members will echo my views on the matter. Would you like to comment? Anyone would like to comment on the said letter? Is it correct that if this was in fact a work in progress, as stated by Secretary Remulla, as of 15 December 2023, all the secretaries and undersecretaries already holding such positions at that time also viewed the ICC as having no jurisdiction over the country, as stated by the President himself in the letter?
We did not assist the ICC, ma'am. We continued with the very tenor of the letter that we did not assist the ICC. We never had contact with them. Well, the investigation that they conducted was through their own methods, and we did not in any way assist them. As said in your letter, we cannot.
It's
we
not
did
my letter, sir, it's the President.
It's a president's letter. We did not assist them.
I think that's not the question. My question is simply to say that as of that day, all those in the cabinet were in agreement with the president's statement. Is that correct, Secretary Teodoro? As of 15 December.
Ma'am, the president's statement is binding, and I defer to Secretary Remulla that we did not, that no government agency, the DND, never cooperated with the ICC as in accordance with the statement.
Okay, and are there any other secretaries who'd like to verify clarify that? We have Director Anyo, Director General Anyo, I believe you are cabinet rank as well, and the NSC sits with the President. Is it correct to say that everyone maintained the same position?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. But we did not assist the ICC in their investigation.
I don't think at this juncture we're asking about assisting the ICC. All we're asking is whether, in fact, you all agree that the ICC had no jurisdiction.
I think, ma'am, what we're talking about here is if it's in the case of the former president, the case was committed while the Philippines is still a member of the ICC.
Okay. I don't know, is there anyone of cabinet rank as well? I'm certain that the DFA will probably hold the same position, that you are all in agreement with effectively your boss as his alter ego, that the ICC had no jurisdiction, as stated in the letter quite clearly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Yusek. Okay, and then in January of 2024, the President then said, let me say this for the hundredth time. I think we've seen that clip before. Can we bring it back? Yes, for the 100th time, I do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. The Philippine government will not lift a finger to help any investigation that the ICC conducts. So, at the risk of really belaboring the point, may I confirm is the DOJ, at least as of early last year, was of the stance that ICC had no jurisdiction and the Philippines would not lift a finger, in the words of the President.
The ICC never had does not have jurisdiction over the Philippines, Your Honor. And we did not lift a finger to help them at all.
So we affirm that we never at any juncture lifted a finger.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, I think the Secretary of Justice vehemently asserted the same during that time.
Beauty
We have
Queen.
the
Hello,
PowerPoint.
Nella Muhammad. Thank you. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.
Are these your words, Secretary?
Yes. Those are my words.
Right. And there is no jurisdiction, and we have an inherent right to determine our own legal framework and address internal matters.
Yes, Your Honor.
So also there is an assertion that our justice system is robust and functional. Your words, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, 10 days later, after Secretary Remulla gave the above statement, on 20 February, there seems to be a slight yet significant change in the tone of the President's rhetoric when he said, I am not certain if we have the PowerPoint. Do we have a slide with the President? I don't approve or deny it, but you know the ICC, haven't done anything illegal. We will do something about it. We are an open country. Maybe clarified as to what the President meant, given that there seems to be a determined change in attitude, that in fact we are an open country. And until they do, they being ICC, do something illegal, wala siyang gagawin para hintuin sila. Parang naiba ang usapin.
I will have to ask what question was asked of the President before I make any response, because I do not know what context the President said those words.
I think it's not unclear. Hanggang may gawin sila na illegal. May I ask the PNP, the DFA, anong ibig sabihin if they do something illegal? Na nang himasok sila, na may ginawa sila sa Pilipinas.
Maybe I can answer that better, ma'am. An example would be to take an oath of somebody within the Philippine legal system. They're not allowed to do that.
Okay, so nais kong tawagin ang ating eksperto dito, si Professor Alexis Medina, na nagpapaliwanag na yung surrender ay naiiba sa extradition at maliwanag yon sa lahat. Kaya't I'd like to recognize Attorney Alexis Medina po. You've written extensively on the distinction and application of surrender versus extradition. Ano ang nangyari kay Presidente Duterte? Surrender ba yan or extradition?
Thank you for the invitation, Honorable Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone, the Cabinet Secretaries and distinguished members of the Executive Branch. Okay. Also, Senator Cayetano, good afternoon, Senator Bongo, Senator Jingo Estrada. Going back to the question, there was the proposition that the immediate surrender of the person arrested to the jurisdiction of a foreign government, foreign state, or international tribunal can be undertaken without judicial proceedings under 9851, Section 17. I respect the opinion of our hardworking and brilliant Secretary of Justice, but nevertheless, I respectfully disagree. Surrender without judicial proceedings might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode that is guaranteed by Section 6 of the Bill of Rights. The liberty of abode cannot be impaired without a lawful order of the court. That's the text of the Constitution. Now, this constitutional protection is a barrier for any government action that would simply compel an individual to change his residence. So to compel a person, to expel a person from his country of residence without a lawful court order by excluding the judicial process might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode. Now, surrender as an option under Section 17 is applicable only in very narrow situations. One is when the person to be arrested has already voluntarily surrendered to the custody of the national government, in which case that negates the necessity of the extradition process. The other option is when the person to be arrested is actually an alien, in which case there's no need to go through the extrajudicial process. It's only a deportation process which does not involve a court proceedings. So in those two instances, surrender without court proceedings would be possible. Other than those proceedings, it would be very difficult to maintain that is sanctioned by the Constitution.
So ang sinasabi po ninyo, dalawa lang pagkakataon na pwede mag-surrender. Kung yung mismong akusado at arestado ang nagsusumite sa pamahalaan, yun, pwede yun.
Yes,
Kusa niya yun.
Yes.
Ikalawa, kapag banyaga,
Yes po.
hindi naman Pilipino,
Yes po.
deport, executive action yun.
Yes po.
Mabilis, walang kailangan na korte-korte.
Yes.
So yun lang, wala na pong ibang exception, wala na pong ibang sitwasyon kung saan pwedeng surrender. Kasi pinagpipilitan na sinurrender, sinuko ang Pangulong Duterte ng pamahalaan sa Interpol. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinasabi kanina. Sinasabi ninyo, hindi po pwede yun. Dalawang pagkakataon lang ang po pwede isuko ang isang Pilipino. Yung isa pa nga, hindi sa Pilipino. Attorney Medina po.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I stand by my statement. There may be possibilities that surrender can happen in other situations, but certainly surrender of a person necessarily requires the lawful order of the court. And this requirement is consistent with the policy of the Constitution that whenever there's a deprivation of liberty, court intervention, judicial proceedings, judicial process is a requirement because the right to liberty is placed in an exalted status in our constitutional system. Hindi po pwedeng, the Constitution does not contemplate exclusion of the court process in depriving a person of his right to liberty.
Kung hindi pwedeng isuko ang isang Pilipino na hindi pumapayag, hindi naman voluntary, ang ibig mo sabihin, Ang iba pang pagkakataon, extradition na.
Yes,
That's the only legal process to enforce surrender to the ICC. I-extradite na kapag Pilipino ka. Tama po ba?
I agree, Madam Chair. Thank you. And extradition is a judicial proceeding.
I think this is of public record. Former Senator De Lima was CHR, was a Commission on Human Rights chairperson 2008 to 2010. Tama, no? Yeah. So, no one disputes that. Sa pagkaalam ko, wala siyang final na case during that time na siya ay CHR. So, I'll just check that, Madam Chair, and then submit it to the committee. But ang pagkaalam ko, walang case. Okay. But eto siguro masasagot ng DOJ kung hindi ngayon, just forward the answer. From 2010 to 2015, despite the investigation of former Senator De Lima noong 2008 to 2010, ang sabi niya, mahirap kumuha ng witness kasi nga mayor pa siya noon, tapos malakas daw sa presidente noon. I think he was peace and order head nung region eh. But 2010 to 2015, siya ang DOJ secretary. Sa pagkaalam ko, wala rin siyang final na case. To your knowledge, may final ba ang DOJ noon or special prosecutor against Duterte ng 2010?
I have no idea,
Yeah.
sir.
Can we double check?
I will double check,
Yeah,
sir.
okay. Sa pagkaalam ko po, sir, wala. Okay. Ang point ko is that either wala siyang kaso, meaning wala siyang ebidensya, because if she had, why didn't she file it? During the time na siya nakaupo, na walang poder si Mayor Duterte. Okay. Fast forward, 2016, September pa lang, so June 30 kami naging senador. Siya, I was an incumbent noon. July, last week of July ang third week ang SONA. So July, August, September. Wala pang 2 buwan as senator, nakakuha daw siya ng 2 importanteng witness. Si Edgar Motobato and former PNP officer ba siya or in the, Arturo Las Cañas. Again, I won't make a judgment here as far as the 2 witness. But dito niya ginawa, okay? Again, no cases filed. And yung pagkagawa ng hearing was very political. I was just testing the credibility of Edgar Motobato and Arturo Las Cañas. For all I know, they were very credible. Pinatayan ako ng mic dito sa session. Inagawan ako ng mic, ini-intimidate ako. And although namagitan si Senator De Lima, hindi niya sinensure, hindi niya pinagalitan yung umalis ng mic. And anyway, history is the record. Ang point ko, still they did not file cases dito sa Pilipinas. Pero hawak nila yung 2. Sabihin mo nang walang mangyayari, I don't agree, but sabihin mo walang mangyayari kasi panahon ni President Duterte yon. So again, fast forward, no? From 2022, June 30, when President Marcos took over and Marcos administration to present, do you know of cases filed against President Duterte, whether it's murder or crimes against in the Philippines?
I think Senator Sonny Trillanes filed cases.
Okay. So
But this went to the office of the Prosecutor General, who immediately forwarded the said cases without going to my office to the Ombudsman. And there, it's just locked in there already. It never went back to us.
So as we are discussing naman SOJ, this is factual lang naman, di ba? May case ba, wala? We're not making judgments dun sa cases because, but ang point ko kasi, kung walang case, bakit? Kasi kung walang ebidensya, no point for ICC to take it up kasi wala ngang ebidensya. If it's because hindi matry dito, for whatever reason, di ba, pinoprotektahan natin, our justice system doesn't work, then dapat mapunta sa ICC. So I don't know the amount of evidence attached to the complaint of Senator Trillanes. Again, I won't comment, factual lang yon. I have my opinions, but I'll keep my opinion to myself, no? But in June 24, 2022, so ano pa to? Duterte pa to, no? Kasi June 30 pa ang Marcos, di ba? Nag-file ang Solgen sa ICC ng deferral request. So, you're aware of this. Okay. So, tingnan na lang nasa page 315, no? Kasi, can I have the, ayan, sa ICC.
I think you talked about jurisdiction but hindi nagsentro sa Article 17 din pero sa ICC hindi dun sa batas natin. Okay. So I think the deferral was based on 18-2. So, just for the record ng mabilis lang, I haven't even read that yet but just for us understanding and then baka makatulong not necessarily on what side but makatulong sa Supreme Court, no? Okay, Article 17, issues of admissibility. Having regard to paragraph 10 of the preamble of Article 1, the court shall determine that a case is inadmissible where, okay, ICC to a Rome Statute which we ratified and then we withdrew, no? Sabi A, the case is being investigated or prosecuted by a state which has jurisdiction over it unless the state is unwilling or unable genuinely to carry out the investigation of prosecution. So again, SOJ, I won't put you on the spot, but for me, 2008 to 2010, hindi naman unwilling at hindi naman unable to carry out yung state. This was the time of President Arroyo. 2010 to 2016, to be fair, ni-ratify yung ICC 2011 pa. So, naging effective 2011. So, wala na yung 2010. But for me, 2010, 2011, ganyan, hindi unwilling ang state. In fact, pumirma nga sa ICC, hindi rin unable yung state. Wala lang talagang final. Letter B, the case has been investigated by the state which has jurisdiction over it and the state has decided not to prosecute the person concerned unless the decision resulted from unwillingness or inability of the state genuinely to prosecute. In general, SOJ, SILG, no? In general, Sir Marbil, Chief PNP, in general, I don't remember that the Philippine government decided not to prosecute, diba? Kasi under our present laws, if you find probable cause, even the President cannot stop it. Even ang pardon natin, iba sa US Constitution. Sa pardon, you can pardon right away sa US. Sa atin, kailangan, ano na, diba, final, diba, kailangan final and executory.
Final judgment.
Final judgment, diba? Final judgment. So kung nag-a-appeal ka pa, hindi ka pwedeng humingi ng pardon. So I don't think we stopped any case or refused to The third one is the person has already been tried for the conduct in which the subject complaint and trial is not permitted. So I think this is their version of double jeopardy, no? So wala din yan kasi wala pa namang kaso si former President, former Mayor Duterte. Letter D, the case is not sufficient gravity to justify further court order. I won't comment dyan kasi nasa ICC yan. Except that ang nilagay nila at least 19 and then at least din ba yung 23 or 23. So I have a little bit of a problem that kasi pag sinabing crimes against humanity, naaalala mo na yung mga dictators sa of the old sa Africa or some in the troubled areas of not the untroubled areas of the Middle East na grabe ang patayan and everything, di ba? So to put the Philippines there with President Duterte, I think it's a little bit unfair na gamitin mo at least, di ba? Kasi kung sinabi mong from 17 to 1,000, at least may idea tayo. Pero at least 17, ano yon? Baka 18, baka 19. And don't get me wrong, every life matters. Pero iba kasi yung crime against humanity, iba yung murder lang. No? Again, hindi ko nilalang ang murder in the sense na one life yon, you should still be tried, di ba? So for the record, if we have evidence, we should file the cases here against President. He should face here, okay? So, mahaba pa to, so hindi ko babasahin lahat, pero just to go to 18, challenges to the jurisdiction of the court or the
So I'm watching,
admissibility of a
guys.
case. So, pwede kasing mag-file yung Solgen. And then, nandito, if a challenge is made by the state, the prosecutor shall suspend
Country, but individuals who may have violated international humanitarian law.
sige po, but clear naman dun sa Articles 17 and 18, the state intervenes, but it's individuals naman diba? So I won't go into that na. So I'll move on to, sinabi ni SOJ kanina na investigations are ongoing, diba?
whether this is individual or groups, whether police or nothing to police, di ba? Na sa lahat ng extrajudicial
But
killing.
it has not been easy, Mr. Senator.
It's
It
not.
has not been easy.
To your point, I don't have it right now, ha? But when Senator De Lima said hindi inimbestigahan, I looked at the investigative capacity of the PNP during the Aquino administration. Parang 1/3 din lang ang naiimbestigahan. And of the total na naiimbestiga, it was, I will correct my numbers, ha, but it was like only 20% of those investigating were trained for investigation. That was a long time ago at minana din lang ni President Aquino yon. But ang point ko, there was no substantial difference between the investigations in the Aquino and Duterte.
The difficulty that we had from 2022 is that in wrongful death situations throughout the country, where something foul was suspected, there were no police reports.
Okay.
As a matter of practice, there were no police reports on wrongful death situations. And when we tried to dig further and we spoke to the medical legal, the most known medical legal person in the country, Dr. Fortune, when she investigated
Kailan man nagkaroon ng break-up yung unit team, hindi na panahon ni President Duterte ngayon to. So,
they actually, what the cases that we are speaking about were filed by their families in the ICC because they could not get justice in the country. I think that's one thing that nobody wants to acknowledge, is that there was a failure of our justice system for a long time. And they had to file their cases in the ICC to get any attention at all from anybody who cared. Because for the longest time, ito mga biktima po, yung mga namatayan, yung mga pamilya nilang namatay o kaya napaslang sa drug war, ay wala ho nang mapuntahan. Kaya doon ho sila nagpunta sa ICC.
Thank you. Maraming salamat sa ating Vice Presidente at hindi kayo nag-iisa. Lahat tayo ay naghahanap ng solusyon sa napakakomplikadong pangyayari. Ano sa palagay mo yung nakita ninyong ICC warrant? Kailan ba ipinakita? May sinabi si Counsel o Attorney Medialdea na hindi daw pinakita kay Pangulo Duterte hanggang sa kahuli-hulihan at redacted form pa daw. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Honorable Senator Marcos, ang nangyari kasi, merong ICC warrant. It was diffused to Interpol. It was given to Philippine authorities. Hindi siya nagkaroon ng red notice. Kaya yung ibang bansa, hindi nila alam. Wala silang notice na merong ganong warrant. Ang nangyari, ICC, Interpol binigay sa Philippine authorities. And the Philippine authorities or the Philippine National Police, in-implement nila yung warrant diretsyo doon sa akusado, hindi nila dinala sa korte natin dyan sa ating bansa.
Tama po. At yan ang pinag-uusapan namin kanina ni Executive Director Alcantara ng Transnational Crime na ang pinadala lamang ay isang diffusion. Ito ang kauna-unahang pagkakataon na ang warrant of arrest was honored by a member state. Samantalang diffusion pa lang to, wala pang compliance review, wala pang ibinibigay sa Secretariat ng Interpol, walang task force yung Interpol at walang kaalam-alam yung Commissioner ng Interpol. Ang sabi nga ng Interpol, si Presidente Duterte ay hindi wanted ng Interpol. Wanted daw siya ng ICC. Pinadala lang daw sa kanila. As a matter of fact, under Article 97, Section 4 of Interpol's own rules on processing of data, it is very clear that there are so many requirements before any action can be taken. Kung pwede, ipakita natin ang itsura ng isang diffusion versus isang red notice. Ibang-iba po yun. Ni walang red notice at yung diffusion, parang sabi nga ni VP, parang tinimbre lang sa mga kasama sa Interpol ng mga miyembro, hindi dinaan sa mismong review. So, nais natin pag-usapan at tanungin kay Executive Director, tama po ba yun? Diffusion is something not yet verified per the articles on processing data. Tama po ba yun? Kasi yan ang rules ng Interpol, hindi po ba?
So, what's
ang
in
diffusion po
now?
ay sa Article 97 ng Rules on Processing of Data is a standardized request
Tama.
to arrest, detain, or restrict movement
Right.
of accused.
Tama, pero
Tama po.
hindi pa siya verified, hindi pa siya naimbestiga, at hindi pa nailalagay bilang opisyal. Wala pang task force,
Tama
wala
po yan,
pang
tama po.
compliance review.
Pero hindi po ibig sabihin nun na wala siyang value.
Pero
Pareho po-
mismo yung Interpol, sinasabi po sa atin na first time daw na yung member state agad-agad in-acknowledge. Wala pa namang kaalam-alam. Ang mismong Interpol Secretariat, walang kamuang-muang kasi between states lang to, ICC lang at Interpol.
whether it is a red notice or wanted person diffusion, obligado po tayong mag-comply. Hence our job in the NCB is to distribute the diffusion notice.
Nandyan, no? Pinapakita natin yung red notice sample versus yung diffusion order. Ibang-iba po, di ba? Yung
Magkaiba po,
itsura.
magkaiba po.
Magkaiba.
Pero-
Yung kay Arnie Teves yan, saka ito kay PRRD, ibang-iba po.
Magkaiba po.
Talagang hindi sila.
Magkaiba
So,
po.
admitido po ninyo, walang red notice.
Yung red notice po, wala po siyang red notice.
Walang dumating, ano?
Merong tinatawag po na
O, tama.
red
So,
diffusion.
kung ganun, sinasabi, tulad ng sinabi ni Bibi, maobligasyon ang ating pamahalaan mag-cooperate, tumulong sa lahat ng request. Yung request, hindi naman ang galing sa Interpol Pinapaliwanag na ng Interpol. Hindi naman amin wanted yan. Ang sinasabi, Philippines is obliged to cooperate when in fact it came from ICC. Paulit-ulit tayo kanina sa ICC, walang jurisdiction dito sa Pilipinas. Ba't natin kinikilala? FPRRD was not wanted by Interpol. It was neither verified or approved. Hanapin mo sa buong database ng Interpol, walang lumalabas. Hanggang ngayon, it's not there. Read out the email address from the letter. Nakita mo yung letter? ICC ang nakasulat. Walang Interpol kahit sa mismong diffusion. Anong obligasyon ng Pilipinas? Kapag hindi tayo nag-comply sa isang diffusion, anong mangyayari sa atin? Hindi na tayo bahagi ng Interpol? Paparusahan tayo? May parusa po ba?
Not necessarily. Hindi po ganun.
Kapag diffusion, what will happen?
Gaya po na nasabi ko kanina, ang diffusion po at requesting for looking for wanted persons, pareho lang po na yung red notice.
Hindi po pareho yun.
Hindi lang po siya,
Naliwanag
ang
nito.
pagkakaiba po niya,
Kababasa mo lang ng Article 97, pambira ka
Opo.
naman, sir.
may pagkakaiba nga po
Kaya
kasi
nga.
yung red notice has to be processed by the...
Pero di ba yung kay
Officers.
Congressman Arnie Teves, red notice na. Ayan, dinadaan pa rin sa proseso ng maliit at mahirap na bansa katulad ng Timor-Leste. Ayaw pa rin nila pumayag. Dahil ang sabi nila, dadaan muna ito sa korte natin. Ngayon tayo, lumuntag tayo sa diffusion. Ano bang commitment natin? Anong mangyayari sa atin? Sinabi na natin, ICC has no jurisdiction. Tapos, ICC warrant has no effect. Tama ba yun? Di ano ngayon yung Interpol? May obligasyon ba tayo sa Interpol? Diffusion pa lang to.
Obligado po. Obligado.
Bakit obligado? Anong mangyayari kung di tayo sumunod?
Katulad din po yan ng mga ibang red notices na hindi natin nakukuha, but obligado rin po tayo.
Ano nga mangyayari? Anong parusa? Papaluin ba tayo? Tatanggalin ba tayo sa Interpol? Iisnabin na tayo ng buong kapulisan ng buong mundo?
Hindi ko po masasagot yung gagawin ng Interpol sa atin, but masasabi ko po we have to comply with both the diffusion and the red notice.
You have to.
We need to.
At
we
the
need
risk
to.
of what sanction?
We need to. We need to. Ayan po yung we
Okay.
exert our maximum effort to comply with those requests.
Nakakagulat lang po dahil kasi eto nga may obligasyon daw pero diffusion lang to at sabi ng Interpol first time daw nga nila na diffusion pa lang lumundag na at inaresto na kagad. Pero parang hindi naman to biglaan kasi General Marbil may memo kayo ng March 10. Di po ba? May memo kayo sa kapulisan na mag-mobilize na agad-agad. Libo-libong pulis ang pinamobilize kahit hindi pa ninyo alam na may warrant. Sabi ninyo, hindi ninyo alam Asan yung memo? Nariyan kanina, di ba? Aalala po ba ninyo yung memo na yan?
But anyway, ma'am,
Hindi, yung memo, tama po ba yan o mali yung binigay sa amin? 10 po ang nakasulat na date. Tama po ba yan?
ma'am, tama po yan, no? Madam Chair, no? Ang preparation namin, although sabi ko nga, narinig po namin na there will be possible na lumabas po yung warrant based sa mga dumadating na news. It's a standard procedure po ng PNP na mag-prepare po in case that's a part of our planning process.
Libo-libo ang minobilize na kapulisan gumastos ang buong pamahalaan para lamang sa isang chismis galing sa Hong Kong. Sabi po ni Secretary John Vic na chismis lang naman ang umabot sa kanila. Hindi naman sila nakatanggap ng anumang katibayan
Ma'am, it's a standard, Madam Chair, it's a standard procedure ng Philippine National Police kay chismis. So in there, we have to prepare and plan kung ano pong mangyayari eventualities po.
7,000 po, base sa chismis. Wala kayong
No, we don't have any record na 7,000. I
Yun ang pinagmalaki sa dyaryo. Hanggang dyaryo lang naman kami.
Ma'am, wala po kami nilalabas ng ganong karaming tao. I guess it's more of, pinapilaki. But I thought with this number, ito lang po yung nilabas po namin tao.
Okay. So, ilan ang minobilize ninyo kung sinasabi niya na labis-labis naman ang 7,000? Sa tingin ko, labis-labis. Isipin mo, chismis lang.
Ma'am, based on the numbers, more or less, it's a total of 156. Yun lang po yung namin. But sabi ko nga doon, it's just a normal procedure.
May mga memo pa na sumunod dyan. Alam naman ninyo yun. Ito lang yung pinakauna.
Madam Chair, I have to check po yung numbers ng tao natin.
Bakit sinabi 7,000? Nagulat naman kami. Okay lang, pero mabalik dito sa ICC warrant, walang red notice at pati yung Timor-Leste, inisnab yung red notice, ang atin lang diffusion. Sa diffusion, ang liwaliwanag, kailangan extradition, kailangan in conformity with national laws. I think we've established that and without pounding it into the ground, can we ask now, ipakita muna natin ang video ni Secretary Remulla or yung transcript dun sa budget hearing po nung nakaraang taon. Ang liwaliwanag po at maganda po ang paliwanag ni Secretary Remulla Boying. Opo.
But when it comes to them going into the country, kung gusto nila pumasok dito upang manghuhuli at magpasagawa ng warrant na kanila pong na-issue po siguro ng ICC pagdating ng panahon, kailangan po ito dumaan sa ating court system. Ito po yung kailangan ng isang action to enforce a warrant, action to enforce a judgment. Kailangan po dumaan dyan sa ating court system. Kaya hindi po namin pakikialaman kasi nagpatrabaho na ng Interpol kung talagang gusto nilang habulin yung tao na nasasaktal. Yung sabihin natin, nag-issue po na warrant of arrest ng ICC, gusto mo enforce ng Interpol dito, pero para ito ay matuloy at hindi mo magkaroon ng kasuhan, kinakailangan pumunta muna sila sa korte natin. There's some things that the Supreme Court would be looking at. If what was alleged in the crime would have happened if we were still members of the ICC. That is one of the things that can be of importance to the courts when they do enforce a warrant, or if they will actually allow a warrant to be served in our country from an international tribunal. Ang problema nga ho ay meron ho sila sabi mga kaibigan natin na well-meaning naman. May 200 families daw na gustong magreklamo pero hawak daw nila balo. Pero sa balo, ang makakausap nyo 2 lang. Tapos yung 2 pa, wala pa ibibigay na totoong ebidensya.
napakahirap po talaga maghabol. Ang ano nga yung nagka-hearing po, yung nag-rights committee ng Kongreso tungkol dito.
Nagsalita po ang ating mahal na Secretary John Vic na ang nagplano po rito, o yung pagkaintindi namin, ang nagplano ay kayo.
I would like
Secretary Anyo, Secretary Gibot Chodoro, at ang pinangalan, ang Chief PNP, General Marbil. Parang apat yung pinangalanan sa isang interview ng ating Secretary ng
Can
DILG.
I answer that, ma'am?
Yes, please, you're recognized.
The question was, who planned this? I did not state in any way who planned it. The meeting was of executive privilege. It is a conversation between the president and the ones I mentioned. There was.
So what exactly did you say? Ano sinabi po ninyo?
They asked me-
Pagkaintindi namin, itong apat na pinangalanan, ang siyang nagplano.
We're already invoking executive privilege in this matter.
Yes.
We're invoking executive privilege in this
Yes,
matter.
that's fine, but it's
Yes.
in the interview, and it's
Yes, ma'am.
public.
It goes as far as the interview, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like to understand. I think your brother tried to
I did not
explain
state in any
what
way.
he said in the interview, and I'm
They
happy to
asked me
hear
if I planned it. I said it was not me. There were other people in the room, but we did not discuss any plans of any arrest.
Saan ang galing yung mga pangalan na ito?
Ma'am, that again is executive privilege. Ma'am, let me
Pero
explain, ma'am.
nandun-
Let me
nandun
explain
sa
first, ma'am.
interview po eh.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Naliwanag
Let
eh.
me explain first, ma'am. We were discussing rumors of an impending arrival
Parang
based
hindi
on.
yung gano'n ang dating sa amin eh. Ang pagkaintindi
that
namin,
is the
apat
whole
na
truth,
nagplano.
That is what we were discussing rumors. Go ahead, ma'am.
Patugtog na lang natin para maintindihan ha. And who was really on top of this? Kayo po ba? Because during the press conference of the President, it was you and the President.
Yes.
So ikaw po ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman, hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chidoro was there, Secretary Anyong was there too, and the President and I. So, hindi naman ako lang
I
natira.
stand by that, ma'am.
Last man standing doon sa Malacanang.
I stand by that.
Kasi Secretary Chidoro was working out of his office.
Eh, napakaliwanag po ng sinabi
Yes, ma'am.
ninyo. Wala
Secretary
namang
Anyong,
mapakiyaw-kiyaw dun sa
Yes, ma'am.
sinabi.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Napakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita sa press con, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am.
Eh sinabi ninyo eh.
I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege, but ma'am,
Walang executive
I-
privilege kasi binunyag na
I
ninyo sa
must
TV.
state it very clear, as I stated very clear, that there was no mastermind. We were discussing mainly about what the president's statements were in Hong Kong, and it was based all on that statement, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo na hindi kayo mag-isa na nagplano, kundi isang
There was no
grupo.
planning, ma'am.
Pero yun ang sabi eh.
I said, hindi ako nagplano. Marami
May
kami-
isang grupo na nagplano.
We were all talking about a rumor, ma'am, and that was all.
Rumor lang yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Group effort ang sabi mo eh. Ang tanong niya kung ikaw ang nagplano, tapos sabi mo,
There was no
hindi,
planning,
group
ma'am.
effort.
There was no planning, ma'am.
Ano yung
earlier-
effort ng group
Ma'am,
kapag hindi
let
plano?
me make-
I think that including into executive privilege already, ma'am. I think that we please
No, I'm
respect
just
our.
asking him to explain the media.
Yes, ma'am. But it's already a very thin dividing line between what transpires in a room between
I will-
cabinet
I will-
members
I will-
and a media statement. But there's a very thin dividing line, ma'am.
Understood.
I hope that we can respect executive privilege.
Understood, and the Senate and the Secretary Chodoro is fully aware. Every time there's a need to recess the executive session, I'm happy to do so, and I will do so when necessary. Pero ngayon, sinabi kasi sa TV, paliwanag naman din yun sa atin kung ano ibig sabihin. Kasi ang sinabi, hindi ako mag-isa na nagplano, may grupo kami.
They asked me if I had planned it. Sabi ko, I did not. I did not plan it. I said we were there, and not to skirt, ma'am, executive privilege. It was mainly because of the statements of the former president in Hong Kong that he said, in his words, ma'am, in Hong Kong, that I think you have a clip. He said that ang reading ko ay may ICC warrant of arrestan. That was the best of my recollection, ma'am.
So anong pinag-group effortan?
to
Anong
discuss
diniscuss
the
ng
rumor, ma'am.
grupo
But
na
again, ma'am,
pinangalanan niyo?
as far as I will invoke in executive privilege, there was no, you cannot plan on a rumor, ma'am.
Kaya,
Based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
nakakatuwa lang dahil chismis lang pala eh. Bakit sesentensyahan yung tao sa base ng chismis?
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
So you deny that you're part and parcel of the planning and that the other persons you named, hindi rin sila kasali dun sa pagpaplano?
Again, ma'am, we were discussing the statement of the former president while he was in Hong Kong, that he said that he said, in his words, ang reading ko ay may warrant of arrest na ako. So that was the only basis of the conversation, ma'am.
So ito yung group effort ninyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis?
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng kabinete. Nakakatuwa naman.
Call it what you may, ma'am.
Walang magawa. Opo, anyway, nabanggit na paulit-ulit itong Interpol, ano? At nabanggit na ng SOJ. At alam naman natin, yes po. Yes, Secretary Tudor, please. O kasi kasali kayo eh.
Alluded to, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines has no law enforcement mandate. Our sole mandate is to give support to the Philippine National Police when it is asked for. And therefore, such ends our jurisdiction. The operation is clearly a law enforcement one, and the Philippine National
At sinabi rin sa isang interview, alas 3 ng umaga, natanggap na yung notice of arrest nung Martes, March 11. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Remulla na si PNP General Marbil nakatanggap ng notice of arrest warrant alas 3 ng umaga ng Martes at sinabihan ang Pangulo ng alas 6. Nabasa niya naman sa alas 6 ng umaga. So ibig sabihin, hindi po chismis to. Meron ng notice of arrest warrant.
You're
Totoo na
talking
siya.
about two different days, ma'am.
Okay.
March 10
Sige, clarify po ninyo para maintindihan namin.
was conjecture.
March 10,
was
chismis pa lang yun.
Yes, ma'am.
Dala nung salita galing sa Hong Kong.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
March
Tapos,
11 was a formalized transmission
okay.
by the ICC towards the Interpol. And that was the first knowledge that this administration had of the presence of a action by the ICC directed towards the Interpol. And that was the only formal knowledge that we had.
So, andun lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang gobyerno hindi tumulong sa ICC sa application ng warrant. Nagulat kayo na dumating na lang yung dokumento.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam or paghihingi.
None whatsoever, ma'am.
None whatsoever. Ganon din yung SOJ, pati yung SND. Wala kayong balita, wala kayong hinikayat, wala kayong pakikiusap na ilabas na yan sa lalong madaling panahon.
Wala po ako rito nun eh. Nasa Vienna po ako. Na-umaten po ako ng United Nations meeting